Alright, so I just arrived here in Lisbon. No clue where I am really, so I'm just gonna wander around and get lost. And you get to come with me. So let's check it out.
Now hold on there, Siege. You haven't even checked into your hotel yet. And you still got your backpack on. There's no way we're just gonna wander aimlessly through this town. No way. We're gonna back this thing up and we're gonna do this video justice.
I'm Siege, and over the next few days I'll be exploring Lisbon, Portugal and the surrounding areas. Stick around.
That's more like it. Lisbon, Portugal is home to many iconic images, and it's a great place to base yourself to make side trips throughout the greater area. And that's exactly how I spent my first few days here. So with the one free day I had left to explore, I decided to see how much of Lisbon it's possible to cover in just one day. To accomplish this task, I got up early and took the metro down to the main square. From here, I hopped a train over to the Belem neighborhood to check out some of the attractions that are a bit more distant from the city center. This is the Monument of the Discoveries. It is basically a large sculpture crafted to memorialize those explorers who helped Portugal become an economic powerhouse, such as Henry the Navigator. Likenesses also include those of Vasco da Gama and Ferdinand Magellan. Just down the road, you'll find the Belem Tower. This 16th century defensive structure once guarded the city against forces that would dare sail up the Tagus River. Over the years, it also served as everything from a lighthouse to a museum. And now, for a small fee, you can go inside and check out the interior. But I'm on a tight schedule, so let's keep moving. Just north of these last two attractions, you'll pass through a majestic garden to catch a view of the Jeronimos Monastery. Construction on this large religious masterpiece began in the late 1400s and quickly grew in size due to the massive amounts of wealth that had been accumulated from all those seafaring expeditions. They say that this place actually houses the tomb of Vasco da Gama. But notice those long lines of people just waiting to get inside? Nope, sorry, we've got much more Lisbon to see. After wrapping things up in the Belem neighborhood, I jumped the train back to that large plaza where we started. Believe it or not, this was once the site of the Royal Palace here in Lisbon, but unfortunately it was destroyed in a massive earthquake. To this day, it still acts as a center of commerce, and is completely surrounded with wonderful places to eat and other historic locations such as the Lisbon City Hall. But you see that gigantic hill overlooking it all? That's where I'm heading, and despite all those quirky modes of transportation, I'm determined to do it on foot. So let's go. This enormous church sits about halfway up the hill. And it's not just any church, this is the Lisbon Cathedral. Its original construction dates back to the 1100s, but it too fell victim to earthquakes and had to be rebuilt over the ages. Just a bit further up and we find ourselves stumbling upon an interesting archaeological site. Dating back to the 1st century AD, this is what remains of a Roman theater. According to the sign, this place was designed to seat around 4,000 people. Pretty impressive, huh? So I admit it, after all that walking, I was getting a bit hungry. And I happened to find this place to relax and take in a nice view while having a dish of tuna steak covered in stewed tomatoes. And I highly recommend it. After filling up, we now proceed on up the pathway to St. George's Gate. This is where you will gain entrance to that mighty fortress that can be seen from all over town. Just to warn you, this place is massive. So I have an entire video of just that attraction alone, so be sure to click that link and check that one out too. After leaving the castle, we now find ourselves in the Alfama neighborhood. And from this pleasant viewpoint, you can see the St. Vincent's Church, which has origins dating back to the 12th century. After circling around this neighborhood for some more amazing views of Lisbon, you may find yourself back in the heart of all the action and face to face with the Santa Justa lift, This monstrosity is basically a giant elevator that will take you upward toward Barro Alto. But if you don't want to wait in line with all those tourists, just do like I did and zigzag up the hilly back streets. You'll find this neighborhood to be absolutely packed with bars and restaurants, just in case you need a break. Not that I did or anything, but you may need one. Finally, up top, we have now arrived at what turned out to be one of my favorite attractions in Lisbon. This archaeological museum features the ruins of a church known as Carmo Convent. I've got a whole video of that one too, so be sure to check it out later when you get a chance. For my stay here in Lisbon, I was actually at a hotel way up in the more northern reaches of the downtown area. So let's take a walk up the Avenue of Liberty, and I'll show you some of that area too. Along this magnificent boulevard, you will find interesting statues. And this one fits in just perfect. It is called the Pavers Monument. It is a tribute to those who built the very infrastructure upon which we now travel. Here we have a good view of the Lisbon War Memorial, which pays tribute to those deceased soldiers of World War I. And the neighborhood surrounding it, well, it is home to some really notable restaurants too.
Now, I normally don't do hotel reviews, but this place is pretty cool. This is Hotel Fenix Garden of Lisbon, Portugal. Check it out. Bathroom's not too bad either. Now, it is a little green in here, but hey, it is called the Hotel Fenix Garden, okay? So we'll allow them a little bit of green. It's a cool place. And you got to see this view.
Although it was a bit rushed, I had an amazing time exploring the streets of Lisbon. And remember those day trips I mentioned? Well, there's plenty of video footage of those amazing destinations too. So be sure to click that subscribe button. And hold on, because Siege is continuing to take on the world.